Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wanjiko Wiriki with another episode of Healing the Fatherless Heart. Today is Monday and it has rained, and I think now it's a Monday thing to rain. And when it rains, we think of our fathers because of how much they protected us or ensured that we were safe. I hope you think of yours like that, right? Today we talk about those fathers who used to adopt every child in the estate. I know of mothers because I was one of those. Like where every child, as long as they know your child or your children, they come to your house and then you end up having a certain kind of bond with them. Now, now they are fathers who have not officially adopting, but they take up the role of father figure for for children who come to the house, and as long as the children are friends of their own children. Now, fathers like those ones have a special place in my heart. Though the sad thing is that nowadays it's very few that can be trusted who are like this, because you end up finding that some men, including fathers, don't have boundaries, and they end up violating the rights of children, not only theirs, but then also children that are friends to their own children. And I'm not talking about those ones. Those ones will have their day. But there are those ones who they know that like a certain, like, example, I have sons, even daughters, but then there's no father figure in the house. And because they're aware of it and they know the role that they play or the importance of their role in the child's life, they step in. And it doesn't have to be a father. There are also grandfathers who've stepped up into that role. That their own daughters have children and the fathers of those children are not present, and those children have friends whose fathers are also not present. You find that kind of person taking up a certain role, not that they're going to overstep when it comes to rules and boundaries or certain things, but they've taken up the place of guiding the children in ways that they should go. Let me give an example. Just the other day, there's somewhere that I buy cereals. And when I was buying the cereals there's a boy that I normally found. This time I went with my daughter. And my daughter was curious. Like, you know the way how children are. They want to talk to someone. And they're looking, but then they're not sure if I should speak. Or even if I should speak, what should I say? So my daughter was just looking at this small boy because of how jovial and active the boy was. And then the boy had another friend who was a small girl, but who had also come to their shop. So now, noticing that the owner of the shop, who's the grandfather of the son of the boy, was like, he just started talking to my daughter. And the minute that we just got there, the man was serving the grandson tea. And he made me remember my own grandfather. My grandfather used to pick me from school and used to drop me to school formative years of my life. Like I remember my first day in official nursery school. I say official because there's another story of another school that I'd gone to that someday I will share. But now in this school that I joined, I know people who know me from primary, they will know which school it is. And I remember my very first day going to school. I even remember my grandfather taking me to the principal's office. We used to call them head teachers then, or headmistress. Yeah, we used to address the lady as headmistress. And he took me to the office, and they had a chat with the headmistress, and the headmistress called the teacher of the class that I was going to join, and I was taken to the class. So for me, day one of that school is special. Sadly, that it's become so special as I've grown older, and especially like now. So that is how my grandfather was. And when it came to even my cousins, it didn't matter if you had a dad or didn't. But when it came to the children that we used to play with, my grandfather would engage all of us, right? So now we come back to where I buy cereals. This grandfather was serving tea to his grandson. And the grandson sat and took the cup of tea. And the man walks in to the back, do I call it like a back office or back kitchen? And he comes out with another cup. And he asks the small girl, how many sugars will you take? Panawezi kunywa mingi hivyo. Let me put for you this much. And the girl sits and drinks the tea. So me here I am thinking, this is a brother and a sister, and I ask him, oh, how comes they're here today? You know, the way you start chatting with, do I say older generation? And I'm like, no. Mine is only one. And let me tell you, the treatment was, you know, there's a way that someone can pretend to treat a child well, but then the child does not know how to pretend. There's a way the child is going to respond. Now, the response of the young girl was what was amazing. Because she didn't even think. She grabbed the cup and didn't even think of it being hot or anything, and it was not hot. Don't be afraid, but it was just the correct temperature. And now when the boy finished, he said, he was in such a rush, and the Guka was like chill. Like, why are you in such a hurry? And he was like, because I want to go in. So now chatting with the man, he tells me it's because he's so interested in doing the math. So he knows it was on Friday actually, because he knows Fridays are his days to be there with the grandfather. And that a small girl from the next shop also knows that this boy comes. And because of how the grandfather is, they can stay there together and they can work together. So in our chit chat, I'm asking him, so, oh, what are you planning to do tomorrow? And the story leads to something. And the young boy tells me that he's going for a walk. She's going to climb the mountains, Ngong Hills, with her grandfather. And I'm like, Guka and who else? And his friends. I was like, what? I was like, yes. And so the grandfather was like, in our society today, what we are talking about today, there are very few fathers who's taking up the roles. So what he does with his friends is, when this boy is available, he will take him because now he's the father figure to the boy. And now he's not only the father figure, but also his friends have become father figures to the young boy. Why will that young boy get lost? And if grandfathers would take up such roles, why would our children get lost?